Well, we're back in the museum with Jackie, and she has been just a treat to be with today, and very, very knowledgeable about everything to do with Fort Sam, the museum. I mean, just all kinds of wonderful things. And Jackie, I'd like for you to tell us a little bit about the aviation side of Fort Sam.
Well, in 1910, the Army brought their one and only airplane, and the pilot they had for it, and they brought it here to Fort Sam Houston to run trials. It was the first time that anybody's military anywhere on the planet owned their own plane and owned their own pilot and flew it. And so we are the birthplace of military aviation, but specifically we are the birthplace of the United States Air Force.
Jackie, tell me a little bit about the picture that's over your right shoulder and what does that represent?
This right here is a picture of the time of them out there flying. And so this is the area they're using, so you can see there is really nothing that you would recognize as an airfield there. So it's just a good piece of land to land on.
Jackie, could you tell us a little bit about, because obviously we're familiar with Kelly Air Force Base, and who was Kelly?
That would be Lieutenant George Kelly. He was one of the pilots that was here learning how to fly and doing trials. He was flying here, flying a Curtiss, and he was coming in and the plane was broken. And so he is trying to make a safe landing with a broken airplane. And he realizes that he is about to hit tents. There's pictures of the airfield, their airfield such as it was a little later, they're surrounded by tents. And so to avoid doing that, he veers, loses control of his plane. The papers said that he shot straight up in the air 50 feet and then came straight back down. He bounced off of Texas, and he was unconscious, never regained consciousness, and died about 4.5 hours later. So he was our first official military aviation casualty.
So then Kelly Air Force Base was named after an Army pilot? Is that what we're saying?
Yes. People ask, we were doing the celebration for the 100th anniversary of World War I, and they said we have to remember to talk about the Air Force's contribution. And the answer is there was no Air Force contribution to World War I. There was no Air Force. And come to think of it, there wasn't one in World War II either.
So then years later, we established Joint Base San Antonio. So give us kind of the history, if you don't mind, from where the aviation started, where you just went through those sequences.
Well, because Kelly was down there, and because this is a good area for flight training and for doing flight operations, it has stayed here. So flight operations from the Air Corps or from the Air Force has been going on ever since. So we have the basic training on the Lackland, and we have the various flight training at Randolph. And so it stayed in the area, and so there's always been a relationship. The reason why we were established as a joint base is because of that. The idea with the joint bases is that in those areas where there's more than one military installation, that they should be combined to work together as one large military installation. Jackie,
we want to thank you so much for being with us today on Mission Park Cares, and we also want to thank you for your service, for everything that you've done for our community, and to have all this incredible wealth of knowledge about this facility. And I just can't wait to be able to tell more and more people about this facility and the history that's here. And we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We appreciate everything.
Okay, well, thank you for coming and visit.
At Mission Park and Mission Park Cares, we'd like to bring you more programming each and every week.
Yes, just subscribe here or catch us every Sunday morning on Fox 29.
And remember, at Mission Park, it's our mission to care.